right, what if you had it all? The big house, big car, big checkbook, but decided to give up a lot of that so that you could help others. Well, it's what the Salwin family did, and they wrote a book about it, The Power of Half. Now the lessons inside that book are actually teaching children in one Atlanta school that they have so much more to give. Here's CNN's Julie Peterson.
If we're going to make this work, we have to have the teachers.
Social worker Ed Morris teaches a message you won't find in textbooks.
The government is not going to solve your problems. The school system is not going to solve your problems. Our leaders are not going to solve our problems.
Over 80% of the kids at Bear Creek Middle School outside of Atlanta are impoverished.
So the solution to heal your communities, to heal your homes, and to heal your schools lies within yourself.
Morris teaches a new way of thinking. By enlisting the help of philanthropist Kevin Salwin, Morris leads students in a two-step process.
If you're going to achieve academic excellence in these schools, then you first have to focus on the problem.
I was victimizing myself.
Step one, students talk about their big-time problems.
Kids who are talking about being raped or molested, or kids who are growing up in poverty, or kids who are growing up with no dads or with moms who are involved in crack.
Step two, teaching the students that it's in the power of giving back that they'll move forward. Salwin knows a thing or two about giving back. It was back in 2007 that Salwin decided to make his own radical change when his 14-year-old daughter, Hannah, convinced the businessman to sell their house and to downsize in half. Salwin donated the $800,000 left over to 2 poor villages in Ghana and wrote about it in The Power of Half, a story that caught the attention of Bear Creek Middle School social worker Ed Morris.
Ed approached me and said, "Hey, Mr. Salwin, I know you wrote this book for white soccer moms. Well, let me tell you, it's the inner city kid, the poor inner city kid."
Ninth grader Destiny Fulker says before the program, she was very low.
I didn't really care about my schoolwork. I didn't really care to come to school every day.
But after talking with her classmates about problems like bullying and issues at home, Destiny opened a new chapter in her life. She started volunteering, cleaning up trash, and doing community service.
I was distant from people before, and then I grasped how much people needed someone, and not just money or things.
Destiny quickly realized that you don't have to be rich to give back.
All of a sudden, kids who have always lived their lives recognizing the things they don't have start to recognize the things that they do have.
Salwin says transforming attitudes transforms the bottom line.
Of the 330 some odd kids, 150 of them had 2 Fs or more. That 150 went down to 51 by the end of the school year.
The unlikely duo of social worker and philanthropist provides a 1-2 punch that students say works.
Who wants to give that much money away? Or who wants to help people the way they do? It's not, oh, I'm just going to give this money to them. No, they give their self.
Giving and also believing.
We believe that you have the power to succeed. Do you believe it? Because we believe it.
Julie Peterson, CNN.
And Hannah Salwin co-authored the book, The Power of Half, and joins me live now from New York. So, Hannah, you couldn't have anticipated that going half in your family's life would make such a huge impact, or did you?
Not at all. I mean, when we set out to make a difference in the world, we thought that this project was just going to be our little family. I mean, little did we know we were going to be impacting kids not only in Ghana, but also in inner city schools in Atlanta. I mean, it's shocking to me. It's shocking what this has brought upon.
So it's a big idea that started out pretty small. It was as simple as you, at the time you were 14, you were in a car with your dad, right? You're at a traffic light, and then you saw something that moved you. What happened at that moment?
So I was riding in the car with my dad on a really typical day, and we stopped at a really familiar stoplight about a mile from our house. And I look to my left and I see a man sitting against a chain link fence holding up a sign, handwritten, hungry, homeless, please help. A really typical scene that I had seen 100 times living in Atlanta. But right at this moment, a beautiful black Mercedes pulled up on my right side. And then I was kind of toggling between the haves and the have-nots of the situation. And I looked at my dad and I said, you know, Dad, if that man in the Mercedes didn't have such a nice car, then that man over there, the homeless man, could have a meal. And he thought about it for a second, and then he looked back at me and he said, yeah, that's right, but if we didn't have such a nice car, then that man could have a meal.
And so your dad kind of thought maybe this would go away. It was a fleeting thought, but you apparently were pretty persistent about this, and then, you know, posed a challenge to the family that we need to give up more in order to help others. How did that go over dinner?
Well, as we were sitting at dinner as a family, we were kind of talking about the things that we were involved in. You know, Hannah, we work at Cafe 458, which is a restaurant for homeless men and women in Atlanta. Or we volunteer very frequently at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. But all of the things that they were saying just seemed pretty lame to me, and I felt like, you know, we have so much more. What can we do? And so my mom really proposed a challenge, and she said, well, what do you want to do? You want to sell our house? And I said, yeah, I do. That's exactly what I want to do. So that is what we did.
And so it was a nice house. It was a nice $2 million home that you all were very comfortable in, didn't have any real complaints until you started thinking about how others might be able to benefit from half. So your family did just that, and half that money went to Ghana to help out people. But then all of this has turned into a book which has taken on a life of its own. It seems like this is never ending, really.
I mean, it really is never ending. I mean, we're thinking about it, expanding the programs, not just at Bear Creek in the 8th grade, but also moving it to the 7th grade, to other schools in Atlanta. I mean, everyone has something to give, and that's really our motto. Everyone has the power to give.
And so real quick, if someone doesn't want to sell their home, what are your suggestions on how they can or how they can help and feel good that they have done something for their, you know, brothers and sisters, their neighbors?
Well, everyone does have the power to give. So it doesn't have to be money. It could be time. It could be talent. You know, if you spend 12 hours a week online, which a lot of us do, maybe you could cut that in half and only use 6 hours online, and then use the other 6 hours maybe volunteering at a cancer clinic, maybe reading stories to kids with cancer. I mean, there are hundreds of ideas out there. Just kind of finding what you have too much of and cutting that into half.
All right, fantastic ideas. Hannah Salwin, co-author of The Power of Half. Thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on what has turned out to be a huge, huge undertaking and effort and great rewards. All right, and of course, you can learn more about spending less and giving more by reading Hannah's book, The Power of Half.